STPL.
Hello guys and welcome to today's STPL. Once again, it's suddenly got really hot, which is kind of crazy because I've been perfectly fine all day, and then like 5 minutes before the cast, I suddenly just really heated up. It's this time of the evening, I'm fairly certain, it just gets unbearable. But we'll get through it. We've got a good set of series coming up today, just to go through the format as always. Best of 5 all the way through to the finals. Lineups are selected in advance and all the games are played at the same time. That's set 1 to 4. And then set 5 is an ace match, which means any player can compete again. Now let's have a look at our first team for today. Just a big shout out as well to our sponsors Liquipedia, Matcherino, and Esport Fund for all being so generous with their help, as well as the help of many people in the community, many generous people. Our prize pool for this season is up at $2,000, which is insane. So thank you so much, anyone who's contributed. I think there's still some codes on Matcherino to add another 50 cents to the prize pool completely free, which is kind of cool. So Ziggy, just to let you know, Ziggy's just popped up in chat. I've still not got a photo for you, and I'm not going to use the photo of Aretha Franklin. But congrats on qualifying for the EPL. Can't remember. Either way, let's have a look at the team. Starting us off, we're going to have SouL. SouL undefeated currently in STPL Season 3. They've lost a couple of games here and then, but it's really cool to see them here. They've got so many good players. Number 1 ranked Scan with 40 wins, 5 losses. Soma, 3 wins, 1 loss. Shine, 4 wins, 0 losses, of course. And Mighty with a respectable score as well. Let's have a look at their opponents. It's going to be the strongest team outside of Korea, with some of their strongest members here. Now, I don't know how I've managed to select Caxter, but it's actually Vody that's going to be playing. So let me just update this. There we go. Okay, so yeah, EPT is a StarCraft 2 league. iRk only lost 1 series so far this season. Head to head, they are doing quite badly against SouL. We have to admit that. They're only 1 win over 7 losses. That first win was in Season 1. But still, when you look at the lineup they've got, I mean, Vody is a pretty respectable Swedish Terran. You've got the best Zerg outside of Korea, one of the best 2 Protosses outside of Korea, and Oya as well, who is a STPL beast for iRk. It's really cool to see them going. DeWalt, I think, is in rank 3 or something now. Let's actually just have a look at the player rankings. DeWalt's actually in 5th at the moment, but he's very close to making it into the top 5. He's in the top 5, but he's close to making it to the top 3 as well. So really cool to see DeWalt here. Let's have a look at the lineups we're having, just to see what matches we've got coming. We're going to start with the TVT between Scan and Vody. We've got a ZVZ between Soma and True Touch. We've got a ZVP between Shine and DeWalt. And then Mighty versus Oya. Unfortunately, that one was a walkover. I need to double check, but I'm fairly certain it goes in favor. Let me just quickly check. I'm fairly certain it goes in favor of SouL. I'm just quickly having a look just to make sure I give you guys the right information. Where are we? Yeah, Oya didn't show because Oya got confused by the time zones somehow, and he overslept. So he missed his game, unfortunately. So that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. We've still got 3 fantastic matches coming, and to start us off here, we've got the one, the only Scan. I say the one, he's rank 1 in the STPL. He's got an insane win rate against both Protoss, Terran, and Zerg, as well as, well, win ratio overall, I guess is a better way of saying that. And against Terran, he's currently at an 86% win rate. So this is going to be a tough game for his opponent, who is going to be Vodi. A little bit more of an old school name from the Swedish scene, from what I understand. Although I wasn't around for that part of like Brood War's lifespan for the foreign scene anyway. So my knowledge isn't fully up to speed, but I do have a lot of like knowledge from the Korean scene back then. But Vodi doing okay so far. He has only played 1 TVT, which he did lose against Hit 'em Up. So this could be a tough game, but it's a TVT. It's a best of 1. And we're going into Fantasy 2. So Fantasy 2, depending on spawns, this could actually turn into a really, really interesting match. Really, really looking forward to seeing how this is going to go. Let's get into the game as we start with game number 1. Okay, starting us off here in the top right hand corner in the Nostalgia spawn, it's going to be Vodi. Sorry, it's going to be Scan fighting for SouL. And Scan's opponent spawning here in the top left hand Legacy of Char spawn, it's going to be Vodi fighting for iRk. Now, I would actually say that these positions favor Vodi a little bit more. But you know what, because it's a TVT and not a lot usually happens in the first couple of minutes, I'm going to zoom out and tell you why. Now, as Vodi, you can get tanks up here, and essentially it blocks this area from ever being pushed through. Now, this means Scan, if he wants to go over, to get out of his base, he of course has to go over the bridges, which is hard enough, or through this area here. So if Vodi plays a little bit aggressive here, if he can secure this high ground, he is going to be in a very good position. Now, the other good thing for Vodi is to get another 3rd base. It's actually a little bit or to get another gas base. It's actually a little bit easier for him to secure this area. If you secure a siege line here, and a siege line here, and you can get some tanks on this high ground as well, it's very easy to hold on to that area. Now for Scan, if he wants to take a 3rd gas, he has to go over these bridges, he has to take this high ground, and then he has to kind of snake his way around all the way down to this other natural. It's a little bit further away, which may mean this actually favors Vodi a little bit positionally, which is kind of cool. Looks like neither player doing anything too crazy to begin with, and we are just going to have a gas opening from both. Now Scan is actually opting to scout very, very late here. I know at least historically, players in TVT usually prefer to scout around 13 supply, just because that gets you to the middle of the map quick enough to see if you're getting BBS'd, but the game has moved on a little bit since then. I think Scan knows that a lot of people don't bother cheesing him anymore because he is just so good. Like, Scan has the ability to win a game without actually, like, this is going to sound so strange, but he basically has the ability to affect his opponent before the game even begins. Now, there was a video that Jinjin translated recently where he's talking about Flash and why Flash is so good, and the fact that Flash, at least mentally for the players that played him in Pro League, would be put off before they even began. Like, he had this power, this kind of inevitability that people just assumed he was going to win. And it just goes to show the players who could beat Flash back in Pro League, and shows why they were so strong. Now, Scan isn't quite the level of Flash, of course, but when it comes to the foreign scene, Scan is infamous. Scan has been in the foreign scene, or at least playing in foreign tournaments for a long, long time. And a lot of people know him as someone who's really good, and in the STPL, he's proven his skill countless times, winning 40 out of 45 of his games, and he usually does it in an incredibly dominating fashion. Now, he has fallen before. Can he fall here? Vody is going to be up against the ropes a little bit, but looks like Vody is just playing this perfectly normal. Scan is going to scout last, which is a bonus as well, because it means Vody is going to be able to expand on the low ground without too much problem. And we do have Scan going into a second Vulture, whereas Vody did go straight into the machine shop, so this could actually be an interesting turn of events if he doesn't go for a bunker. Now we're going to have both players' barracks meeting in the middle of the map here as they're about, well, they're not going to kiss unfortunately, but they are going to pass each other like ships in the night, going for what they need to. Now you can see that Scan, despite the fact he saw 4 Marines, isn't going to try and push with his 2 Vultures. Now, if you go 2 Vultures, you normally are doing it because you're a little bit worried that you're getting cheesed or like pushed or something. Because the earlier upgrades really does help, either it be speed or mines. But Vody maybe have played this a little bit too greedy perhaps. He did go for a siege tank first, which is still okay. But these 2 Vultures should be able to get in here and at least block the command center from finishing, which is going to be pretty annoying. Even if he loses these Vultures, it's not the end of the world as long as he blocks the CC. Looks like he's not going to be able to. We do have the Marines on the high ground. This is the big problem. Marines are not good against Vultures. But Vody cleans that up really nicely. 4 Marines for 2 Vultures is a very good trade for Vody there. Okay, we've got 2 factories already for Scan going into machine shops. We've only got 1 machine shop so far from Vody. He's going to wait until his gas starts to build up a little bit before he adds the second one, I imagine. Now, we've got an armory coming in here. It's not going to be hidden from Scan, so Scan is going to know it's coming. But this is probably the best place on the map to put this. Because obviously the spawn here is pretty good for Scan if he wants to drop Vody. And if you lose your armory before you get +2 attack, it's really devastating in the TVT. Now Scan going for a quicker starport here. It is going to be 2 factories going for Goliaths for the time being. Probably going to go for a Goliath drop here. Now the Goliaths do also help you clear out the barracks, help you clear out any possible wraiths coming your way. But as we know, Vody isn't going for that just yet. And now he is. So there we go. I cast a cursed myself into there being a starport. That's what we do. Now losing the barracks is actually a pretty big deal. This stage in the game, you don't really have the money to rebuild one. I mean, he's building one, but imagine if this was another factory. That's the difference. Like, Scan is going to be probably going to immediately go up to 5 factories on the 2 bases. Because when you're on this map, it's hard to get a 3rd base, as I mentioned before, at least with gas. So going up to 5 fact, very standard here. Now, Vody did go for his own Goliath, but he was only building 1 at a time, so that does mean the barracks is going to get away. Scan is going to use his position, knowing that his opponent has no map vision, to push out onto this high ground. And this is the move that Scan needs to make to kind of start to split the map. Like, Vody needs to start making moves, because if he doesn't do anything here, and this is the very dangerous thing, I did say that his base was a little bit easier to hold on to and a little bit easier to expand. This is a very easy area to hard contain. And if you get hard contained in TVT against someone as good as Scan, you are going to be in so much trouble. Now, Vody isn't even using the map to his advantage here. He's sieging on the low ground, which, yes, it defends this area, but imagine if he had some tanks up here, or even some tanks here, and then just took this area. You achieve the same thing, but you also don't get yourself trapped, which could be a problem here. Now, both of them perfectly even on work account. We've got Scan going up to 4 factories, dropships on the way for both players. Yep, for both players. Looks like the first one's already done. Now, Vody does have at least 1 tank back in his main, but this dropship, that was actually a nice pickup. Now, if he chases this, it could be... Oh my god, he's actually got 2 Goliaths over here already. He's going to be able to snipe the dropship. He gets most of his units out. This is really good for Vodi, but he needs to make sure he targets down the Goliaths, and he's not doing it. He is repairing now, which is good, but the tank was not shooting the same target as the Goliath there, and this means the trade goes a little bit better there for Scan. Like, that was a dead dropship, at least for Scan, but he also killed one of Vodi's, so... Now Vodi's got a unit over here that isn't really doing too much. It is going to be able to help him take this third island base, which it does have gas, which is very, very nice. But this is what happens. You give up this position, you get your main siege down, and if he just constantly reinforces this with dropships, how do you break this as Vodi? This is so, so tough. Like, he's in a position now, he can't even drop the tanks in a place to defend against this. Now, one thing would be good is if he could drop up here. But looks like he's not quite ready to do that. The Goliath's going to be focusing down the dropship. They need to make sure that that does go down. Kills on these tanks. 7 kills on this one with 2 health remaining. Now, the tanks are in a good place for Vodi, but I just don't know if it's good enough. Vodi's taken so much damage already. He's down 30 supply now. And he's still got 3 tanks here doing absolutely nothing. They need to be in the engagement. They need to be in the fight. And they just haven't been. And this is how Scan is going to win this game. He's just going to continuously drop all over the place. We've got a Goliath trying to get this dropship. But it isn't going to matter too much. We're not mining from the main as Vodi. We're not mining from the third base either just yet. Now that's a good tank shot. And he may still be able to hold on to this. He's actually got really good tank positioning now, but these tanks, they need to be repaired. He cannot afford to lose them, but more tanks dropping in. Oh, the starport is going to be focused down here by Scan. We've got a lot of SCVs coming back here from Vodi trying to hold on. There's just no units here whatsoever. And it looks like Scan may have just done it. I think there's just a little bit too much here. He tried to push forward with the tanks. They're too low health. GG. And Vodi loses game number 1. So that was a little bit unfortunate for Vodi. I mean, he just didn't have his units in the right position, and then he got abused for it. So that's what happens. Scan is incredible once again. And when we get back after this short break, we'll head into game number 2. I can't count.
STPL Season 3. Yeah. STPL DAS. Bio TVP? Wow! No problem. We got dragons to defend. Yeah. STPL DAS. STPL DAS. Mass Scout? Oh, I'm so afraid. We got Hydralists to defend. Yes. STPL. STPL. Fantastic production. Fantastic casters. Fantastic prize pool. Only in STPL.
I'm about to overload my aggression inhibitors. Outstanding. Rock and roll.
Okay guys, welcome back. We're going into game number 2. Now, starting us off here for SouL is one of the best Zerg players in the world right now. It's Soma. He's 3-1 in the STPL. He did lose against Killer in the STPL Season 2 finals. It was a really, really sick EVZ. But Killer really showing how good he can be in those best-of-1 situations, because Killer realistically isn't the strongest Zerg anymore. Back when he was mini Jaedong, he was really, really good. And basically, he suffered a bit for a while. He didn't really achieve too much in big Korean tournaments. And I think he's kind of on the up again, which is really, really nice. So good to see Killer. But talking about Soma, I mean, he's amazing. I don't really have too much else to say other than he's really, really good. His opponent fighting for iRk from Poland is going to be True Touch. Now, True Touch, you guys will know him well. He is the best Zerg player by far outside of Korea. I mean, him and Eon Zerg, you could argue between them, but I would always say that True Touch has been a little bit better than Eon Zerg for a longer time, I think. Eon Zerg is definitely very good, and I don't mean anything bad. I mean, they're both equally amazing. I see True Touch and Eon like I see DeWalt and Bonneth. Like, DeWalt and Bonneth are both so close, but it's the same with True Touch and Eon, right? I'm not saying anything bad about the coach. Don't hate me, Eon. I know you hate me already. But genuinely, they're both really, really good. But True Touch, so good. And it's going to be such a sick matchup. Now, we're going into Monty Hall SE. Now, ZVZ on this map is probably the weirdest matchup you could have here. There is basically no Ling play on this map. So we're going to have Muta versus Muta. And that is going to be it. We are skipping straight into Lair, most likely. I mean, we could see Ling versus Ling if they both decide to mine out or like go for a hatchery in the middle or something. But I don't think we're going to see that. I think we're going to see a fast tech to Lair, Muta versus Muta micro, and I don't know how to call that. I mean, they're both going to be playing on probably turn rate 14. I mean, historically you would say that Soma has the better Muta micro, but True Touch is more used to lag than Soma is. Like, when you think of lag and you think of high latency, when you're in Europe, even playing against other places in Europe, you can be on a lower turn rate. Whereas Koreans, they only play against Koreans most likely on ladder. It's always a turn rate 24. So I wonder how that's going to affect this matchup. So let's see as we get into it. It's game number 2. Okay, the game has begun, and starting us off in the top left-hand position, it's going to be True Touch fighting for iRk. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom right-hand corner in the yellowy green, it's Soma fighting for SouL. Also, Lucky Noob in chat saying that people don't get used to lag, they just tolerate it. You would be surprised. Like, if you play enough games in lag, you get used to it. It's just the way it is. And I think what a lot of people forget about Peru as well is most of the time, when Peru plays, they play with other Peruvian players at high turn rate. So, Peru has a similar problem to what Korea has, really. Like, people seem to think, back on the IC Cup days, that Peruvian players deliberately picked a laggy game to play because they would get the advantage. I don't think it's like that at all. I mean, there are a lot of places in Peru that don't have good internet, that is for sure. But a lot of Peruvian players play in internet cafes. Peru has a very similar culture to Korea in the like PC bang culture. It's really, really cool. And Catspaw saying it's a joke, nothing more, but it gives me something to talk about while nothing's happening. So there we go. We got a 12 hatch coming in from True Touch. Soma, meanwhile, is actually going for a spawning pool and gas very, very quickly. So we're going to have a quicker tech coming in here from Soma. True Touch trying to get the better economy. Now, the one problem that True Touch is going to have is A, it takes forever to mine through this. B, he's used an extra drone to get the hatchery. And C, his lair is going to be later. Now, are we going to see an evolution chamber coming in here from True Touch? I've seen a lot of True Touch games, well, maybe not recently where he's done this, but in 2017 when I first came back to cast properly, I saw a lot of Evo chamber builds by True Touch. Now, I do wonder if we'll be asking this game, what would Jaedong do? I would highly doubt it, but it could happen. You never know. The good thing about STPL is most people are incredibly well mannered. It's really, really good. It's one of my favorite things about being able to watch the STPL. And, well, I mean, I'm casting it, so I guess I'm technically watching it. But one thing I really find annoying is when people are bad mannered to each other. There's no point. No point whatsoever. More GG equals more skill, as the great White Ra once said. Now we've got True Touch pushing down the right hand. Oh my god, True Touch is going to mine out the other side. Is True Touch... Is this... This isn't really an all-in as such, but it kind of is. Like, how are you going to break through? You need more than 2 drones. You need like 6... I did the maths for this before, but I've forgotten how it is. 48 divided by 8. Someone quickly help me out. It's like 6 or 7, right? Now, he could go for a gas. Oh my god, he can actually... Oh, this is so clever. He can build and cancel the gas. I forgot that he'd have the ability to do that, and it's 6 trips. Oh, but look at this. Soma knows about it, but is there any Lings back at home? He's actually going for sunken colonies. He was... He saw the... I think he saw the Lings leave the base. And oh my god, he's actually blocking the mining. Oh no, he's not. Okay. I was going to say, oh my god, he's actually going to let him in. He wants him to come in. Look at this. He's like, oh, you want to come in? How much money you willing to waste, bro? But there we go. Looks like he's going to block this off. He needs to wait for those units to come in. This is so many Lings. There's only 2 Sunkens. There's no Lings alive. There's Mutas coming out. But can True Touch break this? Can he kill all the drones? Oh my god, the drones are in such a good position. The Lings cannot get on top of the Sunken. He needs to kill the drones. He needs to get damage done, and he's not doing it so far. More Lings coming out, though. There's another 2 creep colonies coming in. Soma knows. Oh my god, these are True Touches. These are True Touches Sunkens. He's going to try and Sunken bust him. Is it going to work? He needs more units up here. The drone drill is fantastic. The Sunken is not going down so far, but it's getting close. The Sunken's forced to... Oh my god, he's building a spore colony in his opponent's main. He's trying to eat as much damage as possible, but the... Oh my god, the Mutas are done. I think True Touch is done. That's it. GG. True Touch tried his best at an all-in, but Soma scouted it. And he reacted perfectly. And, I mean, that could have gone either way. But damn, that was a really interesting idea for a build. True Touch really came prepared for the map. But unfortunately, Soma was prepared for the map as well. And he just scouted for it. That was actually really cool. So we're going to be going into game number 3 after that very quick ZVZ. When we get back after this very short break. See you guys soon.
And people like Kix, for example, who has an encyclopedic knowledge of every map that's ever been released on StarCraft. And
he's the map man! Skibidi on did. Skibidi on did. Skibidi on did. He's the map man! Ba-da-ba-da-ba-dee da ba-ba-da-boop. Ba-ba-ba-da-boop. Bee-da-ba-ba-da-boop. Ba-ba-ba-da-boop. Everybody plays one way or the other, so check out my message to you. As a matter of fact, I don't let nothing hold you back. If Kix can do it, so can you. Gooba-dooba-dooba-dee-da-ba-ba-da-boop, ba-ba-ba-da-boop.
Please don't listen to him for maps.
yeah.
Okay guys, welcome back. Starting us off for SouL is a man that needs no introduction. It's the bag of builds himself at Shine, playing from within his military service in the STPL for SouL, as he is one of Caster Muse's close friends. It's been really cool to see him play so far. He's brought some really interesting tactics into the STPL as well, which is really great to see. Now, he's not lost a game so far. Some of the games he's played have been a little bit one-sided. But I reckon a player here, the Russian god here in DeWalt, could have a chance at taking down Shine in his first game. Now, DeWalt is one of the highest ranked players in the STPL. He's got the most amount of matches played. He did have the most amount of matches won until Scan caught him up. And overall, he is an incredible Protoss player. He's up there with Bonneth in the upper echelons of the foreign scene, and just overall in the STPL, he's an absolute god. He may not do as well in the BSL as maybe Bonneth does, but in best of 1 scenarios in team leagues, DeWalt is incredible. So this is going to be really, really cool. The map they're going on to is one of the most standard maps in the Season 2 map pool. It's La Mancha. EVP here across the ages, because this was used back in 2019 in Season 1. Is pretty Zerg favored, but we did have some one-sided matchups in the past. And I still believe that DeWalt has a chance of doing it. True Touch almost took down Soma in a ZVZ. If his micro was a little bit better, if he'd have focused the drones instead of the Sunken, he could have won that game. And that was such a close, tight ZVZ. It was a really interesting plan. Is DeWalt going to come out here with a signature all in here, or is he going to play this standard? I think against Shine, it's better to play standard because he is probably going to all in you. So if you can defend the all in, you're doing better than Bisu does. So let's get into game number 3 at Shine versus DeWalt here on the Mancha. Okay, the game has begun, and starting us off in the top left-hand corner is in the magenta, fighting for SouL. It's the bag of builds himself. It's Shine. And sporting down here in the bottom left-hand corner, it is the Terminator. Fighting in the green for iRk, it's DeWalt. Okay, so DeWalt looking to play this a little bit standard here, going for a wall-in, not going for a crazy one-base build or anything like that. What is Shine doing? That's the question. Is he going to go for it all in here? Is he going to build a sporting pool? Yes, he is on 9. Or is this an overpool? No, it isn't. Oh, it was an overpool, sorry. My bad. I'm so bad at telling Zerg builds. That's one problem I have. The Zerg builds all look the same. Now, I don't think DeWalt is going to go for 2-gate here, but going for Gateway first against someone as good as Shine is very risky. Now, DeWalt getting ready to build it, well, I mean, you do build your second pylon in the main, but it kind of feels like he's getting ready to get a cannon up there. Now, we've got Shine going for an expansion behind this, so it's not going to be a Ling all-in or anything too crazy like that. No gas just yet, so no Ling speed is going to be on the way. So this is actually beneficial for DeWalt here, who is going for this gateway expand. I would just like to take this opportunity to once again thank our wonderful sponsors Liquipedia, Matrino and Esport Fund and all the people that have contributed to the prize pool for reaching our $2,000 goal. $2,000 for a team league outside of Korea is an insane amount of money, so thank you so much anyone who's helped. And if you want to help contribute, There's still codes on Metrino you can enter. There's a link that pops up in the chat every once in a while with the code STPL 3, I think it is, and you can add the code in to add 50 cents free. Now, DeWalt getting ready to expand here. His Nexus is actually around 100 minerals later. I think he was waiting to build another Zealot first. It looks like Shine trying to focus down this pylon. Oh my god, he's going to get in the main with his Ling. It's only got 10 health, but that's such an annoying thing to deal with. There we go. Now Shine going for a third hatchery here at 12 o'clock. Second hatchery is finished. We've got a Zealot in the main. It's not killed any drones just yet, but it is getting behind the minerals. Going to be able to get at least a Zealot, at least a Zergling. Now looks like DeWalt getting ready to move out with a probe to go and scout a little bit more. Needs to make sure he knows what's going on at the other side of the map. We've got the wall coming up with the forge, meaning that any Lings should not be able to get back in to DeWalt's base, but he does need to be very careful as Shine is incredibly sneaky. Now, unfortunately, we don't have... Well, I guess fortunately for DeWalt, but unfortunately for us, we don't have anything too crazy coming out here from Shine. Shine is just playing this completely normal. I think Shine is really respecting his opponent. Like, DeWalt was out in Korea for a bit. I don't know if they ever met, but DeWalt, I think, was out in Korea for a month or two, if I remember rightly. And he did play quite a lot of the Korean pros, so... And as far as I'm aware, Shine has pretty good English, right, Castamuse? I don't know for sure, because I've obviously never met him, but based on what I've heard, I think he's pretty good at English. But maybe they did meet up. I don't know. Yeah, and GoSuvigi saying if only iRk had Bonneth and Eon. Now, if anything, Netwars would probably have Bonneth, but Eon currently isn't in a team, so if iRk want to get Eon, they can. Now we've got 4 Zealots coming in here, lots of Lings coming in, but DeWalt with a very good position here on his Zealots. Able to get a good surface area, but Shine is so good. His Ling micro is unmatched, I think. And that's really cool. I mean, DeWalt's going to get behind the minerals again, but the Zealot has taken so much damage. That was 400 minerals, and Shine lost about 6 or 7 Lings. That really was not worth that for DeWalt whatsoever. Now, +1 was delayed because he did go for a gateway first. His core is coming in. He's got a couple of cannons back here to help defend against a possible Ling flood coming in behind this. Hydras are on the way in. It is going to be a Hydra bust coming in. Now, it's not going to be a 9734. It's just going to be a normal Shine style Hydra bust, which is kind of good. I mean, Shine used builds like this many times in a row to beat Bisu 3-0, so I do wonder if DeWalt is going to be able to hold on to this. Bisu had an often problem of being very greedy. Now I think DeWalt is going to respect the fact his opponent is very good with Hydras and most likely will add a couple more cannons. We've got one already coming in. Now the problem with Hydra Bust these days is, unlike back in the day when if someone was Hydra Busting you, it was 100% all in, and either they have to basically, either you build 1,000,000 cannons or you die, and if you hold, you're miles ahead. The more modern style of 3-hatch Hydra means you're not necessarily behind when it fails. And if you force out like 6 or 7 cannons, you're going to be pretty damn good. Now we've got someone in chat, Ryan Metal, sorry to call you out, but saying Bisu is overrated. I don't know if you used to watch Pro League, but Bisu is the best Protoss in the world. There is no Protoss player anywhere near as good as Bisu at any point in his career. And yeah, he's just insane. Now here we go, the Hydra Bust has been activated. Let's see if DeWalt can hold on to this. The probes have been pulled at the perfect timing, blocking the Lings from being able to get in. Now the first cannon does go down, +1. +1 isn't going to finish. This is a massive timing for Shine to hit there, but Shine cannot kill DeWalt here. There's enough cannons. He's adding on another pylon as well, just to make sure. And there's no 4th base from Shine. We've got the 4th hatchery coming in. But this is still technically all in. DeWalt, his probe count is incredible. We've got double gateway coming up back at home. He's already got another forge done. And he's adding on more cannons. The fact that +1 was delayed is actually a massive, massive problem in this game. Basically, without +1, you lose so many timings that you can go for a little bit later in the game. But if DeWalt can hold on... Oh my god, is DeWalt going Reaver? No, he's going Templar, sorry. I was going to say, is he going Corsair Reaver? That would be insane. But the first Corsair up here at Shine's base is doing pretty well. He's got the 5th hatchery on the way. Evolution Chamber coming in. He survived the onslaught of Shine, at least early game. But can he transition out of this with an advantage? That is the big problem. That is the problem a lot of Protoss players have had very recently. Where essentially they just fall behind from over-defending against a Hydra Burst. Is that what we're going to see from DeWalt, or is he going to use his trademark skill in the PvZ matchup to be able to come back here? We've got the first High Templar out on the way. We've got a lot more coming in. Oh my god, Shine killed a High Templar. He ran in and killed a High Templar. How the heck did he do that? DeWalt moved his High Templar a little bit too far forward. Bam! It's gone. Just like Sillet Bang. Now we've got 1-1 coming in. Shine does scout this. The 2 Corsairs are going to be able to clean up the Overlord. And also I've just figured out why Rheinmetall is bad-mouthing Bisu, because he's jealous of how good SKT are because he's a KT fan. And yeah. I think one of my favorite Pro League moments was Boxer being higher in a TBT on Bluestorm, and he opened bio. That was like one of the best games ever by far. But yeah, Pro League was so good. I miss Pro League so much. I missed Pro League so much that I started a Team League myself. I wanted to watch Pro League style games, and this was the only... Oh my god, Shine losing Hydras to that Storm, taking a ton of damage. Very uncharacteristic of Shine not to be keeping an eye on his Hydralisks here. But I think he was trying to chase the Corsairs. Oh, and another Storm. It looks like people in chat talking about the Storm Zerg while the Zerg is being stormed in this game.
STPL, STPL, STPL.
Oh, thank you, PurePat, for the 100 bits. Man, it means so much. Thank you for the support. Oh, we've got a shuttle coming in here. Did he already drop? Now it looks like he is going to fall back with his Zealots. Doesn't want to lose too many, although he doesn't right click far enough back. Now he is dropping somewhere. Oh, he's dropping on the low ground. Oh, he's going to go back with just one. That's actually really clever. Now there isn't a 3rd base up for DeWalt yet, but there's no 4th base for Shine. His lair is done. Lurkers are out, but here we go. Here comes a... Oh my god, that's a good Storm. Oh my god, if it was just a pixel to the left, it would have killed so many drones. He only got 2. Oh man, that's so unfortunate. Zealots running around the map, trying to find damage in the top right. Get a couple of Hydras, but are going to fall. Now these Zealots are kind of... They're canaries in the mine. He's trying to pull attention away from the fact that he wants to take a 3rd base. We've got a Dark Archon out here getting ready to go for a Maelstrom for a possible Muta switch. And this is just very, very cool. We've only got 2 Corsairs here. We've got a shuttle coming in as well. Oh no, the shuttle's going to get sniped. Oh, but the Corsairs! They get the... Oh, is this 2? Oh no, the shuttle goes down. And I thought that was only 1.
I have changed my username from Mullahay to PurePat, so it's the same.
Ah, thank you.
On Twitter.
Oh, thank you, thank you, PurePat, for the 200 bits, and you're actually Mullahay. Thank you. You didn't have to donate again to say that. You could have just said it in chat, and I would have read it. But thank you. Now this is where DeWalt is starting to struggle a little bit. There's no more Corsairs remaining. It looks like Shine is getting ready to go for a big drop into the main. We've got DeWalt pushing out into the middle. But this is a canary as well. DeWalt is chasing after the army, and this means there's nothing back in the main. Imagine if he had a feedback here. Not a feedback, sorry, a Maelstrom. This could be a completely different situation, but this is going to be so much damage coming in from Shine. So many kills on these lurkers. Oh my god, 11 kills. All of them probed. Shine taking a worker lead advantage now. Shine is really starting to hit his stride now. There's Hydralisks everywhere. The drop didn't do too much damage, but it still did enough to really start to hurt DeWalt. Now, probes are being transferred back into the main. He still has enough probes for 2 base saturation. The Overlords are going to get taken down. But he is still alive. And that is the important question. We've got a 4th base coming in up here for Shine. Shine is totally supply blocked right now after that drop. And DeWalt didn't lose too much of his army, so he is in a position where he can get ready to counterattack. He's got a lot of storm energy. There's not that many units from Shine. And as long as he can keep his observers alive, he's going to be in a good position. But it looks like Shine is getting ready for another drop here down in the bottom right-hand corner. And he is going to be heading straight towards the main. Lightning isn't going to strike twice here for our Zerg that gets stormed. I keep wanting to say Storm Zerg, but that's yellow, not Shine. And he's going to have a Dark Arc on there, getting ready to stop the drop. But is he going to be ready for the drop from 6 o'clock? That's what we should see. Now here comes the drop into the natural. 2 lurkers, 4 Hydralisks. There's a lot of cannons here. There is the Corsair to help kill these Overlords. But are we going to see him push forward? We've got Shine trying to draw the army into the lurker field. We've got lurkers and Hydralisks dropping off in the bottom half. DeWalt isn't pulling his probes. His probes pulled too late again. He's going to lose so many of them. But at the front, the lurkers... Oh my god, he pulled his observers back. He had to. There's no vision over these lurkers at the moment. And that means that the lurker container is going to be able to get set up in the beginning. Now, Custom Use in chat saying something really, really cool. This is a really good way of saying it. Custom Use is saying, except for DeWalt's slow hands, it feels like Shine is playing DeWalt's game. And that's because Shine is actually in a... Oh, sorry, DeWalt's in a pretty good position still. Now, if he pushes, he's got his observer, so just kill the lurker. Here we go. If he goes right now, there is a timing here. Shine is supply blocked. If he goes right now, he can break the natural. But we've got a big, big drop coming down here to the bottom left. The Dark Archon is here, though. And there's a storm. Oh, my God. If he catches this drop, it's game over for Shine. This is all of his units. Oh, this is going to be so, so pivotal. Can he Maelstrom? Yes, he does. 3 of the Overlords. Oh, my God. 5 Overlords getting caught without dropping anything. Shine is going to lose his units here. But oh, no. There's no observer. The 2 lurkers drop off. More lurkers going to drop down. But it does Shine have enough here to hold off against DeWalt's army at the front. This is the big, big story. The lurkers can be killed by the reinforcements. But can Shine hold on to his natural? It's looking tough. +2 is done. 2-1 against 1-0. Storm coming up at the back here. Overlords. Overlords going to get taken out, and Shine is going to get supply blocked again. Even Storm going down on these Overlords because he knows he needs to kill them. If he kills them, Shine can't build any more units. Now the Sunken has fallen. The main is going to be broken, and I think DeWalt may have won the game, but looks like the Dark Archon in a little bit of trouble. We do have an observer back here with some Zealots, which are going to be able to clean this up. But DeWalt needs to strike hard, and he needs to strike now. He needs to go and kill the main. Shine is getting ready to evacuate his drones because he thinks DeWalt is going to go into the main, and DeWalt's not going to do it. He's not going to take the bait. The lair is in the top middle. There's 3 hatcheries up here. If he goes up and kills these hatcheries, Shine is in so, so much trouble. DeWalt did lose 3 gateways, but it's not the end of the world. More Hydras coming in behind, but don't forget how many cannons there are. DeWalt is starting to mine out, but is this too much? DeWalt, oh my god, that storm. DeWalt is so, so good. 9 kills. All the drones that evacuated from the main. And he's even getting into the mineral line here at the 3rd base. The 4th base is barely mining in the top right. And DeWalt looks like he's going to take a game off of Shine here. Shine could still hold, but it's going to be so tough. Oh my god, he saves his... Oh man, DeWalt saves his observers against the Scourge with a great storm. And this really is, as Carson Muse puts it, a miracle game. Not many foreign players can say they've taken a game off of Shine, and that's exactly what we have DeWalt doing right here. This is what the STPL is all about. Games like this. Such a good game. DeWalt has played this so well. He defended Shine's aggression perfectly. Now there's sunken colonies coming up here because Shine wants to defend this the best he can. Using a storm on the leg, on the egg. He's going to get the lurker before it can finish. And I don't know why he's sending his High Templar in first, but I think this is game over. Shine is going to come back with his final remaining units. He's barely got any supply. It's 30 supply against 100. And GG! Shine taps out and DeWalt takes game number 3. And that is really, really sick. Now, that is when that is when the fact that Oya fell asleep and didn't wake up in time is the worst possible situation. But that was an incredible win by DeWalt. DeWalt played against a pro player, one of the best Zerg players in the world, and he won. There we go. He won in a macro game as well. That's how you do it. But Oya falling asleep and not waking up for his game has ended the series in a 3-1 win for SouL, but still, that was so good. There's no 2v2 in STPL. If you want to watch 2v2s, though, there is the BWCL. They have 2v2 there, and there's also some, well, the ASL Team League coming up soon has 2v2 too, so really, really cool. Unfortunately, SouL get the walkover in Game 4, which is, it's one of those things where it kind of sucks a little bit, but we still had an incredibly good game, so that's all that needs to be said. Let's add the win for SouL Gaming. But let's have a look at the results. That was such a sick game. Oh my god, I'm so happy for DeWalt to be able to win that game. And Ryan Metal says, which team do you think is the new SKT in the upcoming ASL Team League? Well, obviously, it's Go Rush's team. Go Rush's team has got Best, Yuck, Sack, JYJ, and someone I can't remember, but Go Rush's team is the best. Go Rush's team, SKT, Best KT. This is a really bad slogan t-shirt my dad got when he was on holiday once. It says, I'm not lazy, I'm on energy saving mode. And it's my go-to lounge around my house shirt, but it's nice and thin and it's boiling. So there we go. But yeah, it's very me. I'm a very lazy person. But okay, here's the results. Scan taking down Body in game number 1. Soma taking down True Touch in game number 2 in a very close. Just think, if True Touch had got in a little bit quicker and microed his links a little bit faster, we could have had Soma and Shine losing today, which is insane. So we then had a walkover win we had a win for DeWalt over Shine, which is crazy. And Oya fell asleep and unfortunately didn't wake up in time to play his game. So Mighty got the walkover win over Oyaji to end up the series 3-1. So a little bit unfortunate the series ended in a walkover, but we had a fantastic series. Vodi versus Scan was the most one-sided, but Soma and True Touch and Shine and DeWalt could have gone either way. So good. Like, such a good series. Now, I'm going to go for a quick break. When we get back, we're going to head into Net Wars versus Ash. It should be a very good series. Just to list some of the games we're going to have, just ahead of us going to a break. And also a massive thank you to our sponsors, Liquipedia, Maturino, and Esport Fund. But our final series for today is going to be starting us off a PvP between Yeti and Dreamer, a TVP between Ziggy and Quark, Ziggy being the best Polish StarCraft 2 Terran right now, as well as a really good StarCraft 1 Terran. We're going to have Kogut versus Desarque, and Zero, Mr. Bombastic himself versus Hit 'em Up in Game 4. So don't go anywhere, you won't want to miss it as we get into game or series number 2. See you guys.